myself right. Well, what you been doing today? Sunday. Been watching YouTube? Have you? Mm-hmm. Did you learn anything? Did you learn anything new? Is anything new out there? Yes. There's lots of things new. Let me just sit back and relax. What I'm going to talk about today. By the way, I have to say something. I've been watching. I'm a watcher sometimes, you know what I mean? And I've noticed a change of vibration. Oh yeah, man. A big change. And that's what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about something like that. So, you know, as I walk about, I see the strain on people's faces because of all the things that's going on. I see it. But when they see me, their faces light up. They do. And whatever was gloomy suddenly becomes light. I can't help it. It's just a cheap people. If I see a gloomy face, I'll respectfully try and find out what's the problem. And we go from there. And if the frequency allows me to come in to heal whoever it is, could be a dog, could be a cat, could be anything. Oh yeah, man. You know, there's not just broken people, animals, but broken spirits. Oh yeah. And this is what I'm going to talk about today. I've got to go right back to the beginning. Right back to the beginning. But it's true in the you know, I do, you see, there is good in everything, if you look for it. Now, many people would condemn the Tartars. Oh yes, of course they would. Yeshua, he wouldn't judge by outward appearance, would he? He would hear the fors and the againsts, wouldn't he? Oh yeah. Just because somebody come to him with a judgment, it might sound absolutely, yeah man, yeah brother, you were badly done by. But Yeshua, want to hear the other side to balance it up. And with fair judgment, and he didn't never want to judge, but there are moments when he was forced to judge situations. And he brought balance to the Jews who were full of the law. Oh yes, lived the letter of the law if they could. They couldn't do it. So they had to make rules and rules and rules on top of rules, and that bound them. And you have to live under that Torah, because that's what you wanted. You needed something to be wrote down for you, so you could follow it. Because you could know, if you don't have Father within you ruling as king, then you will always need a human ruler to rule you. I'm sorry to talk like this to my Jewish brothers, but I have to say this to you Jewish brothers. Come on now. Yes, live by the Torah. If you bound yourself by the Torah, you must live by the Torah. Yes. Just hold on. I got a drink here, because I need a drink sometimes. And I forget myself a drink. Joseph, you're thirsty, and I know. I'll put them here. So, yeah, the Torah. You know, the first 5 books. Bible. Moses. Right, you know, it's I should imagine most people know that. Our children know. Our children are not taught anything like that. They're not taught Hebrew, and if they were taught Hebrew, it would open their eyes. So I'm going to go back to try and tie in what I've just said. To right at the beginning. When was the fucking beginning? And when is the fucking end? When's the end of this fucking system gonna come? Huh? When? Stop messing about, Joseph. I do get wrong with my father sometimes. I will get on with it. So in the beginning, I've already done a video about that. In the beginning. Let's start at the very beginning. Now some people say, oh, it was Big Bang. Ooh, you fucker. And suddenly, oh, well, this is how it happened. Remember, our Father, as I said before, there were his sons and daughters in spirit before him, in a different dimension, vibrating different to this. This didn't exist. This didn't exist. Right? Now we can't put a time when existence of the 3D, this here, came into existence. You know why? I'll tell you how that all began. Right, for a story. This is what Father is telling me to tell you all. And if you've called in, you've obviously called in for a reason. Father said to all his sons and daughters, I say sons and daughters, but it could be daughters and sons. Yeah. In spirit, they have these qualities of male, female. Okay? But there is no connection to reproduce. That can't happen. That can't happen. So for a spirit, let's say an angel, if you want to make it simple, they would have to, with Father's power, wait until the body that Father had said, I have prepared a body for you. Wait, and then the right time came. You were born in the DNA. Spirit coming into the real human from Adam and Eve. Now let's go back right to the beginning of this dimension. Remember, there was no 3D dimension. Therefore, there's no time. There was nothing to measure off. Can't measure off eternity. So, you can only measure off who was before you, who was before you, and who was before you in spirit. So, you know this brother or sister was existing before you, and you know this person was existing before you, that one, and trace it right back to the first son, spirit, who Father created in the image of himself. Are we there yet? How it all works? So that's spirit. Now, Father said to all his sons and daughters, I'm going to create a dimension whereby you will be able to bring in, through creation, in this dimension, another offspring, whereby a new spirit can be created to put into that flesh. So the spirit, a new spirit, who hasn't existed before, can be brought into existence through the human copulation. Do you know what copulation is? Yeah. In spirit, you can't do that. can't bring about another like yourself and your wife. There's only this place here. That's why a lot want to come here, so they can bring about new creation, spirit. And this will especially happen during the 1,000-year reign. All those who are left over to start this 1,000-year kingdom, this beautiful kingdom, talking to the 144,000 who are here from the Spirit before the foundation of the world. Now Father says, go back. You remember, before the foundation of the world, before it all was set in motion, Father said, I'm going to create a new dimension, a paradise, the most beautiful thing you can ever imagine. I am going to create it. And within an instant, Father, it was there. And all the sons, all yous, you probably forgot, shouted in applause. Wow, look at that. And for some time, it wasn't inhabited. It was looked upon, and how it became beautiful, and how Father even beautified it even greater as time went on. So it all happened in the beginning, right at the beginning. The chicken, there would have been two. One with the seed already planted in it, and the other one to fertilise it. All in an instant, male and female, in every creature who needed to produce. Yeah? And then there was spirits who decided they would want to inhabit that place and beautified. Talking about before Adam and Eve. Before Adam and Eve. Long, long before Adam and Eve. If you think I'm a little bit cuckoo, the evidence, before 6,000 years, you go back in the history, that's when Adam appeared on the earth and Eve, 6,000 years back. Now we're into the 7th. The 1,000-year reign has begun. I'm going to just leave it at that. So we're going to go to the 6,000 years back. Why did Father create a garden, a beautiful Garden of Eden? Why? Because one of his sons broke away and decided, who was the, as I've said before, Lucifer. He likes being referred to the angel of light, so we'll name you that. And you fucked up the earth so much that Father had to step in at the right time, make a Garden of Eden, while outside of the Garden of Eden was fucking shit that you'd created. You were still fucking hanging about, weren't you? The fucking wilderness, the shit and everything outside the Garden of Eden. But you wormed yourself in and you got to Eve, didn't you? You got to Eve. the human was put here to put right your fucking mess, Lucifer, and your cronies, your fucking cronies who joined you, rebelling against Father. So, what it is, in the Garden of Eden, a virus suddenly appeared. Imperfection. A virus from outside. A virus from outside of the paradise came in. And this virus talked words. Word viruses. And Eve heard this, what looked like an angel. Paid, is it really so? You can become gods, just like Father, you know. Just do your own thing. You'll be able to create anything you want. Look at what you know. You know everything. Yeah. And so it began. The virus, the words that misled and got into this human computer, into here, and changed it and gave us a virus in words. Words. Did you know that words are viruses? But words from Father. My Father said, you have to point this out. That we, the 144,000, are brought here to correct these irregular words that has twisted the mind, affected the human psyche, so that it slows down and dies. Our job is to reverse that. It starts in the mind, the change. And my Father said, please commend the brothers and sisters, the 144,000, for doing such a good job in the tarot world. You know, you tell your stories, and wonderful stories. You might say it's nothing to do with Ouija board stuff, you know. And some tarot readers, there's none of that. Storytelling and the cards, because they know them so well, they tell a story. But if they can bring in a moral compass to correct anyone back to north, they do a good job. So do some of the prophets. Some of the prophets now are vibrating so well that the kingdom is within them now, and they can't but help spill it out. It just comes out. And there are those who are good with numbers, figures, revealing times through numbers. That's good. You know, there can be error there if we're not careful with applying certain individuals into the calculation that it might be someone else who should have been employed into that calculation because they were similar, but they're not. You're still right, but is it the right person that you've identified? That the prophets can help with that. If you have any doubts, just ask the prophets what they think, who this could be applying to, or whatever it may be. There's a lot about the number 45, and my warning is, be careful not to apply what should not be applied to Mr. Trump. Yeah. Just be cautious. So viruses, let's all be cautious, not just of the putting a virus in ourselves, saying it's like an inoculation to prevent something. Be cautious. Whatever's put in the body, is you and allowing this to happen? And it's a frequency, and it's a vibration. And it could set off the same as what words can set off. If I was to constantly say to a child, 2 and 2 is 5, 2 and 2 is 5, 2 and 2 is 5, the child would believe it until it got older. And then it works out, no, that's not right. We have to get to the stage where we can work things out. The Torah has been a wonderful instrument given by our Father to help us. It's like a stepping stone, but the stepping stone, now you have to step onto the greater, where Father rules within us. And when Father rules within us, is there any need for any governors to tell us what to do? We are sovereigns, sovereign beings. We are from above. And we could bring our Father's sovereignty with us. Yeah. So the whole purpose of you being here, what is it at the end of the day? Is to bring the frequency of our Father into this earth. Yeshua showed us how to do it. You just have to follow his example. It's as simple as that. He didn't want anybody to worship him, no. He just said, mate, just remember this, I'm just an example of how to get the Father. That's it. Come on now. Do not fucking bow down to me. I'm just, get what I'm saying? So, now, our Father's sending in this frequency, and we are receiving this frequency, right?